The deep space research vessel Hyperion drifted silently through the outer reaches of the Carina Nebula, its sensors probing the darkness for signs of quantum anomalies. Captain Natasha Volkov stood at the observation deck, her weathered face reflected in the reinforced glass as she watched the distant stars shimmer. 23 years of deep space exploration had taught her that the universe rarely offered simple answers, but what her ship detected that day would change humanity forever. "Captain, you need to see this." The voice of Communications Officer Marcus Wong carried an unusual edge of urgency. Volkov made her way to the bridge, where Wong's fingers danced across his holographic interface. "I'm picking up a signal unlike anything in our database. It's structured, complex." Dr. Jun Nakamura, the ship's xenolinguistics expert, was already bent over Wong's station, his cybernetic eye whirring as it processed the data streams. "This isn't random space noise," he muttered, more to himself than anyone else. "There's a clear pattern, but it's degrading. Whatever sent this, they are desperate." Volkov leaned over the console, studying the pulsing waveforms. "Source: the Helios cluster," Wong replied, "specifically from the territory of the Nexari." The bridge fell silent. The Nexari were among the most advanced civilizations humanity had encountered since achieving faster-than-light travel. They were masters of quantum engineering, capable of reshaping matter at its most fundamental level. They were also notoriously isolationist, having rejected most attempts at diplomatic relations with Earth and other species. "They've never asked for help before," Volkov said, her voice tight with concern. "Never needed to." Dr. Nakamura straightened up, his organic eye wide. "Captain, I've decoded part of the message. It's not just a distress call. It's a warning." Before he could elaborate, First Officer Derek Harrison burst onto the bridge. "Captain, long-range sensors are picking up massive energy fluctuations from the direction of the signal. Whatever's happening out there, it's big." Volkov's decision took less than a heartbeat. "Send everything to Earth Command. Mark it Priority Alpha. Wong, maintain signal tracking. Harrison, plot a course to the nearest quantum relay station. If the Nexari are asking for help, something has gone terribly wrong." Within hours, the signal data reached Earth's Strategic Command Center in Geneva. Admiral Rajesh Patel, Supreme Commander of Earth's Combined Space Forces, stood before the World Security Council, his holographic presentation showing the degrading Nexari signal. "The Nexari are being attacked by something they can't stop," Patel explained, his voice grave. "Their quantum manipulation technology, which we once thought almost godlike in its capabilities, is failing against this threat. They are not just asking for help, they are warning us that whatever is destroying them will eventually reach Earth." Councillor Olivia Rodriguez leaned forward. "What exactly are they facing?" "They call them the Void Harbingers," Patel replied, bringing up a series of dark, twisted images decoded from the Nexari signal. "Entities that exist partially outside our normal space-time. They don't just destroy, they consume. Technology, matter, energy, everything. And the Nexari think we can help." Councillor Chen asked, skepticism clear in his voice. "We're centuries behind them technologically." Admiral Patel allowed himself a grim smile. "That's exactly why they're calling us. The Nexari and other advanced races built their civilizations on precision and control. But humanity? We evolved on a death world, survived countless disasters, and clawed our way to the stars through sheer determination. We're adaptable, unpredictable." He paused, letting his words sink in. "The Nexari don't need our technology. They need our survival instinct. Our ability to face impossible odds and find a way to win." The council chamber erupted in heated discussion. Some argued for caution, others for immediate action. But as the debate raged, more signals arrived from other alien civilizations, confirmations of the Nexari warning, reports of worlds going dark, desperate pleas for aid. Admiral Patel's voice cut through the chaos. "Every hour we debate, another world falls. I'm not asking for permission to send a few ships. I'm asking for authorization to deploy everything we have. Every carrier, every destroyer, every combat-capable vessel in the fleet. The council fell silent. What Patel proposed was unprecedented, leaving Earth defended by only its orbital platforms and planetary shields. But as more data poured in from deep space monitoring stations, the choice became clear. Council President Diana Wallace stood, her expression resolute. Admiral Patel, you have your authorization. Deploy the fleet. Show these void harbingers why Earth is called a death world, and why humanity has survived everything the universe has thrown at us. Within days, shipyards across the solar system blazed with activity. Vessels were recalled from patrol, weapons systems were upgraded, and crews were assembled. Humanity prepared for war not just to save the Nexary, but to face a threat that could consume entire civilizations. As Captain Volkov watched the gathering fleet from the Hyperion's bridge, she remembered an old saying, "The universe is vast and dark, but humanity burns bright." Soon, that light would either push back the encroaching void or be consumed by it. There would be no middle ground in the war to come. The orbital shipyards of Mars blazed with unprecedented activity. The massive framework of the dreadnought Titan's hammer hung suspended in space, its hull gleaming under the artificial lights as construction drones swarmed around it like metallic insects. Inside the vessel's command center, Fleet Commander Zara O'Connor watched her crews work with fierce intensity. Engineering reports the quantum shield upgrades are at 87% completion, reported Lieutenant Ravi Mehta, his hands moving swiftly across multiple holographic displays. Weapons systems are online, but the new plasma resonance cannons need calibration. O'Connor nodded, her augmented reality implant highlighting various systems status reports in her field of vision. At 53, she was one of Earth's most experienced fleet commanders, having led ships through the Neptune crisis and the Jupiter insurgency. But this mission would dwarf anything humanity had faced before. Time estimate until full combat readiness, she asked, studying the massive hologram showing the gathering fleet. 16 hours, Commander, Ravi replied. The support ships are all ready, he paused as a new alert flashed across his screen. Incoming transmission from Lunar Command. Priority 1. The hologram shifted, revealing the stern face of General Victor Santos, Earth's Chief of Military Operations. Commander O'Connor, we've received new data from the quantum relay stations near the Helios cluster. The situation is deteriorating faster than anticipated. The General's image was replaced by a series of dark, haunting recordings. Entire star systems were being consumed by what looked like living darkness. The void harbingers moved like a cosmic cancer, devouring everything in their path. The Nexary's last quantum beacon went dark 6 hours ago, Santos continued. We're accelerating the deployment schedule. All ships must be ready for departure in 8 hours. O'Connor's expression remained steady, but her hands tightened on the command rail. Understood, sir. We'll be ready. As the transmission ended, she turned to her executive officer, Commander Jade Chen. Contact all department heads. I want them in the Strategic Command Center in 15 minutes. And get me a direct line to the Artemis Battle Group. Across the solar system, humanity's military machine roared to life. At the Neptune defense platform, Vice Admiral Hassan Ibrahim coordinated the movement of Earth's most advanced stealth vessels. The black ships, nearly invisible against the void of space, carried experimental weapons designed to fight enemies that existed partially outside normal space-time. In the asteroid belt, mining guild vessels were hastily retrofitted with military-grade shields and weapons. Their crews, hardened by years of working in the harshest conditions, volunteered en masse for the mission. These ships might lack the sophistication of proper warships, but their reinforced hulls and powerful mining lasers could be devastating in combat. At the Lunar Military Academy, retired veterans were recalled to active duty, bringing decades of combat experience to the younger crews. Among them was Master Tactical Officer James "Old Wolf" Morrison, whose battle strategies were required reading for every cadet. Listen up, Morrison addressed a room full of young officers, his artificial leg clicking against the floor as he paced. Everything you learned about conventional space warfare? Forget it. We're facing an enemy that doesn't follow physical laws as we understand them. That means we need to be unpredictable, adaptive. He pulled up tactical displays showing various battle formations. The Nexari relied on precision and predictability. That's why they're losing. But humans? We're chaos incarnate. We've survived precisely because we're unpredictable. Back on the Titan's hammer, Commander O'Connor stood before her assembled department heads in the Strategic Command Center. The room hummed with tension as officers reviewed combat scenarios and system readiness reports. Our primary advantage is our diversity of approach, O'Connor explained, highlighting different sections of the fleet. We have everything from quantum-tipped missiles to modified mining lasers. The enemy adapts quickly to repeated tactics, so we'll coordinate our attacks across multiple vectors, never using the same approach twice. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, head of the ship's science division, stepped forward. We've analyzed the Nexari signal data. The Void Harbingers seem to operate on principles similar to quantum entanglement. They are connected across vast distances, sharing information instantly. Which means, O'Connor continued, when one of them learns to counter a weapon or tactic, they all learn it. But they can't prepare for what they've never encountered, and humanity has a talent for improvisation. The briefing was interrupted by a ship-wide announcement. All personnel, battle stations. Fleet deployment commencing in 30 minutes. O'Connor looked at her assembled officers, each face showing a mixture of determination and controlled fear. Humanity called the stars our destiny. Now we'll prove we deserve them. Dismissed. As her crew dispersed to their stations, O'Connor made her way to the bridge. Through the massive viewport, she could see hundreds of ships moving into formation. Destroyers, carriers, cruisers, and support vessels, the largest fleet ever assembled in human history. The communications officer's voice cut through the bridge's controlled chaos. All ships report ready, Commander. Admiral Patel is broadcasting to the fleet. Admiral Patel's image appeared on every ship's command screen. Men and women of Earth's combined fleet, this is perhaps humanity's greatest moment of truth. We go not just to save the Nexari, but to face an enemy that threatens all life as we know it. They think they are invincible because they've never faced humanity before. Let's show them why Earth is called a death world. As the Admiral's words faded, Commander O'Connor gave the order that would echo across the fleet. All ships, commence launch sequence. Formation Delta. We're taking the fight to them. The massive fleet began to move as one, engines igniting like new stars against the darkness. Humanity's answer to their void was on its way, carrying with it the combined might, determination, and unpredictability of a species that had survived everything its own world had thrown at it. The Void Harbingers were about to learn why the galaxy's most advanced civilizations had called Earth for help.